When you think about ghosts or hauntings, you think of abandoned old houses with dilapidated features or abandoned psychiatric hospitals. Places that have bad energy and history spring to mind. Spectral looking people with manic laughs or clanking chains are another popular image people often have of ghosts or spirits. Airline accidents get big coverage, especially because when they happen, they can be catastrophic. But it's important to note that taking a commercial flight is 19 times safer than driving in your car. And flying gets safer with each year that goes by. Planes get lighter and more efficient. Technology improves. The room for human error minimizes. In terms of travel, flying is the best mode of transportation. However, in past decades, this was not always the case. And that's where the story starts. With one of the most known airline crashes, Eastern Airlines Flight 401. But the crash isn't infamous because it was so big. It's known because the ghost of Flight 401 lived on long after the crash. The legend of Eastern Air Flight 401 begins on a chilly December evening in 1972. The Lockheed L-1011 TriStar, nicknamed the Whisperliner for its quiet engines, lifted off from the runway at New York's JFK Airport, bound for the warmer climes of Miami. The plane was barely 4 months old, a marvel of modern technology and luxury, under the command of the seasoned captain, Robert Loft. On board were 163 passengers, all anticipating a safe, smooth flight. Little did they know that they were embarking on a journey that would culminate in one of aviation's most eerie legends. The flight was progressing as expected until the descent into Miami, when a simple bulb at the landing gear indicator failed to illuminate. What followed was a chain of miscommunications and oversights that accumulated in the plane plunging into the Florida Everglades, taking the lives of 101 of the passengers and crew, including Captain Loft and 2 other crew members, Albert Stockstill and Donald Repo. The crash was tragic, but what followed turned this aviation disaster into an eerie legend that continues to chill those who hear it. After the crash, parts salvaged from the wreckage of Flight 401 were used in other planes in the Eastern Airlines fleet. And it was in these planes that the ghostly presence began to manifest. The first accounts were of strange sounds and unexplained malfunctions, and a feeling of unease among the crew. But soon, these gave way to something far more chilling: apparitions of the deceased crew members. These apparitions were not blurry or vague, but detailed and lifelike, bearing an uncanny resemblance to Captain Loft and Officer Stockstill, and especially Donald Repo. Repo, in particular, seemed to have a mission to protect the living from the fate that he had suffered. He was sighted on several of the fleet's planes, performing routine checks and warning the crew about mechanical issues. In one unnerving incident, Repo's apparition reportedly warned a flight engineer about an impending fire. When the warning was brushed off, a fire did break out later in the flight, validating the spectral warning. Captain Loft's apparition was often sighted in the first-class cabin, sitting silently, sometimes looking out the window, perhaps revisiting his final moments. In one striking incident, a flight attendant was shocked to find Loft's apparition sitting in the first class section and disappearing when she returned with another crew member. In one of the most eerie incidents, Repo's face was seen in the reflection of an oven in the galley during a pre-flight check. His apparition warned the flight engineer about a problem with the plane's electrical system. Shaken, the engineer recommended canceling the flight. Later, it was discovered that the plane indeed had a serious electrical issue, validating Repo's ghostly warning. These spectral sightings were frequent and unnerving, reported by credible witnesses including pilots and flight attendants, mechanics, and even passengers. The stories were so persevering and consistent that Eastern Airlines allegedly conducted an internal investigation and removed all salvage parts from Flight 401 from their planes. Yet the legend of the ghost of Flight 401 lives on, a chilling tale that transcends the boundaries of the natural world. It's a spectral saga that continues to echo through the aviation history, a haunting reminder of the tragic fate of Flight 401. The apparitions of the ill-fated crew members, their attempts to protect the living from the fate that they had suffered, their spectral warnings and ghostly appearances, all contribute to a chilling narrative that has turned an unfortunate aviation disaster into an eerie legend that continues to captivate and terrify. In the dead of the night, when the wind whistles through the aircraft fuselage and the engines hum their steady rhythm, crew members and passengers alike have reported feeling a strange chill, an uncanny presence that can't quite be explained. They speak of seeing figures in Eastern Airline uniforms, recognizing the faces of Captain Loft and aviation engineer Repo, appearing and disappearing into thin air. Some have even reported hearing the soft, faint whispers of the deceased crew, their voices carrying an urgency, a warning. These spectral manifestations have not just been seen in the air, but also on the ground. Maintenance crews working late at night have reported seeing Repo, inspecting the planes and performing his duties even in death. One mechanic was reportedly so terrified upon seeing Repo's ghost that he quit his job the very next day. Some have even claimed to have had conversations with him, only to see him vanish before their eyes. What exactly went wrong on Eastern Airlines Flight 401? The investigation following the 1972 crash revealed that the distracting indicator light was simply a burned-out bulb. The landing gear could have been manually lowered regardless of the light. The crash was a tragic result of human error. Perpetuated through time, the story goes that Loft and Repo haunted Flight 401 to safeguard future flights from similar mishaps. Once the parts from Flight 401 were discontinued on the other fleet planes, the paranormal sightings stopped altogether. The company folded in 1991 and is perhaps still better known for some of the more compelling and credible paranormal encounters to date. The majority of the witnesses are the most professional of people and simply not really the sort of people to invent the stories that they tell. With their very careers on the line, each witness must be totally certain that what they saw is what they really saw. The good news about these apparitions is the last commercial TriStar flight operated on January 7th of 2019, so you probably won't be coming face to face with Loft or Repo, hopefully. So what do you guys think? Would you ride in a haunted plane? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode, Ghost of Flight 401. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe. Please leave me a comment. And I will see you guys next time on Tales Told in the Dark.